Hey guys, Alex here. Since Kelly, Jimmy, and I are celebrating Christmas with our families this week, we're going to take a break from our midweek ORAS mystery vlog, but I didn't want to leave you empty-handed, so I recorded a fun holiday edition of the Dex podcast with Justin Flynn and King Nappy subbing in for Kelly and Jimmy. Enjoy, have a happy holiday, and we'll see you on Friday for the Dex versus Pokémon Rules. Oh, and if you didn't know we had a podcast, links in the description below. There's like 40 episodes. Check it out. It's really awesome. See you later. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the special Christmas edition of the Dex podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm
What's
Justin.
good, YouTube?
And now we talked over each other.
Joining me today on the podcast are two special guests, the first of which is the King, Nappy himself.
What's good, YouTube? That one ain't too here. Back again once again. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man, and also with us today is a returning guest.
Yo, me. Hi. I'm Justin, and I'm sick. Hi.
Great. Yeah, Justin Flynn. He's great. We love him. We love both of you guys. We're excited that you joined us for our special Christmas cast. Kelly couldn't make it. Jimmy is working on other things, but he waves politely from behind the microphone. But yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to have a couple guests, just like how, you know, the Christmas specials always take place in some kind of weird cabin, and then some like celebrities knock on the door and come in. And so I thought it'd be fun if you guys joined me for, like, you know, sort of like a little mini podcast that gets a little bit more sentimental.
Aww.
Yeah. So how are you guys doing?
Well, Justin's sick, so I'm going to say I'm doing better than him.
Yeah, I'm hurting
Yeah?
right now, but I'm on the road to recovery. Yesterday was like the worst. Yesterday was the worst, but I think I might pull it out for Christmas. Might be a healthy Christmas. We'll see in 2 days.
That'd be great. I hate being sick for Christmas. How are your Pokemon lives going? You doing any Pokemon-y stuff lately? Been really into anything?
Pokemon is life.
Yeah, I hear that.
I mean, everything's just the same as normal. It's just I've been diving a lot more into TCG as of late, opening up different collection boxes and whatnot, and just trying to wrap up this Alpha Sapphire Let's Play and dive into something new.
Yeah, man.
But other than that,
I haven't had a ton of time recently because I've been sick, but I was just like working. You know, my secondary job besides being a PokeTuber or a Poke Twitcher, whatever you want to call it, is like hosting events. So I was in Atlanta, and that's where I got sick doing an event for Coca-Cola, of course, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, not the drug. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was there for a minute, and I haven't really had a chance to do too much stuff actually involving Pokemon, but I am really excited. I mean, I'm sure we'll go over this in the podcast at some point, but the VGC 2015 rules got announced, so I'm about to jump back in real hard and heavy.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge.
It's huge.
It's huge. But yeah, for now, let's speaking of that, why don't we just jump into the news?
Yay, news is fun.
Yeah. First bit of news is that the VGC 2015 rules have been announced.
What?
Yeah.
I swear I didn't know. I didn't know this was going to be on first in the lineup.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's the biggest piece of news. So it's basically the same as last year, except now it pretty much opens it up to any Pokemon except for the obligatory way too OP legendaries. So that's pretty exciting. And they have to be bred in Gen 6 too, which is kind of cool. I like to see them trying to like discourage like hacking the legendaries in competitive play.
Yeah. You still have to soft reset for them, you know, and pray.
Yeah, I kind of am like pro hacking for like the Smogon style gameplay, because I think that's like all about like, you know, perfect Pokemon. Mm-hmm. But with VGC it's a little looser, and I'm excited, and I really want to get into it this time. I'm gonna really try and like jump in and play around.
I'm a VGC noob.
Me too. Don't even trip. That's like That's like what it's all about.
And if I tried to jump into VGC, I would just get bodied left and right. I remember when I went to PAX Prime, they had the PAX Pokemon League there, and there was one of the gym leaders. Her whole theme was VGC doubles battles and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I got this. This is no problem. Let's just say I didn't get that gym badge. We went on to somebody else.
Great. Yeah, I've never been to any sort of competition in recent years, let's say. Not before I was just like a little nerd man going out by myself. But I'm excited. I really am gonna try and like get my game up and like do some regionals or something. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, they're fun, man. They're fun, and it's not like crazy hard. Like even if you're not super good at VGC, you can usually break even, you know, because not everyone that goes there is like, I'm a huge pro. Just the thing, like you guys I know are both like OU competitors, and this goes out to anybody else that might be watching the podcast and that primarily plays by Smoke on rules and stuff. I know a lot of you guys aren't big fans of Protect, but put it on every single Pokemon you have.
Yeah, it's huge.
In doubles. It's one of the most important moves. I'm just saying this as a general thing. Obviously, you don't need Protect on every single one of your Pokemon, and at times you'll have choiced item Pokemon, and you probably don't want to Protect on your choice, a choiced Gardevoir or something. I wouldn't recommend it. But
powerful choice Garf Protect.
Yeah, the most powerful Protect in the game. But anyway, that's just a little tip. Is like I know a lot of people like go in like, oh, I'm going to run 4 moves, and then you just get slayed because you don't have a choice. You can't Protect, and you're not going to outsmart your opponent here. In VGC, there's a lot more like mind games, I think, than in standard 1v1.
Yeah, and battles go quick too.
Yeah,
I always find myself surprised. I'm like, I'm done. We're done. Like
I just compared to like Pokemon out.
Yeah, just compared to those like 30-minute like epic, Smogon battles, it's kind of refreshing. It feels more like something like Street Fighter or something like that.
Yeah, they're like 15 minutes, I think, ish, or less, usually less.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the first bit of news. Next bit of news is that the Japanese Pokemon Daisuki Club website was updated, and there's a new app coming in January for Japan only, obviously. It's going to let you look at news, Pokedex entries, and trainer cards, so that's exciting. I wish there was something like that out here. That would be really cool to have like a little community zone going on.
How hard is that to like make a website and like
I know, right?
You just read the text. Is there not one person at the Pokemon company that can translate that
to English? Just the same site. Just translate it to English, and you'll cover like half the damn world.
Well, to Google Translate we go.
Yeah.
Just now when you started this topic, I was like, is he really going to talk about that Japanese news about that Dragon Dance Garchomp? I don't know if you guys heard about that.
No.
It turns out it was fake, but there was someone that made some image. It was on like the Japanese Pokemon website that they were going to have an event, Dragon Dance Garchomp.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh boy, we're going to talk about this. But it turns out it ended up being fake. But Dragon Dance Garchomp, oh my goodness.
That's in that new category with Mega Rayquaza. That's broken.
Yeah, that is like beyond Mega Salamence. You don't even need to, like, that's so nasty. Like Garchomp's already so nasty that Dragon Dancing it would be just for doubles especially would just be unreal.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Pokemon Daisuki, who knows? Maybe someday we'll get our own sort of like fan club support from Nintendo.
So
who knows?
So it's like a Pokemon Facebook?
Yeah, kind of. And it's like a place where you go and you like there's like news that's like a little bit more specialized. It's almost like if like Cerebi or Bulbapedia was like official in terms of like news and stuff. And then like the app is going to have the news, and it's also going to have like a little bit of like research stuff, Pokedex entries, and you can like put your trainer card on it because it'll link with the game, which is pretty cool. I don't know.
Man, I love trainer cards.
Yeah, they're fun. But yeah, that's that piece of news. Next bit of news is that Pokémon TV, which is a streaming service. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's on like iOS, Android, and it has like select episodes of all the different animes and like a couple of the movies going at all times. Like whether you like the Gen 1 anime or the Gen 2, there's always like a few things to watch of each. It's now available on Amazon Fire TV for free, which is like their competitor to the Apple TV. And early next year, it's going to be on Roku also for free. So that's pretty exciting.
Nice. Yeah, I watched Origins on that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like nice. Like I like that it exists. I'm not sure like what their goal is with it, but it's cool. I'm happy to watch free Pokemon.
All the time. All the time. Free Pokemon. I was happy when they added it to Netflix and I could just watch the season 1 episode with Gengar in it. And I was like, that's the best one right there, hands down.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel you? Gengar's cool. I mean, he's not the best, but there's other good Pokemon.
Whoa, now, hold on.
I'm just playing Gengar stick though, for real.
Yeah, I was getting bodied by a Gengar the other day. It was a bummer. I was like on stream and this dude was just like taking my team down. But that's that. It's cool. Next bit of news is kind of exciting, but it's kind of also a bummer. But it's exciting because because they now exist, that means that we'll be able to use them legally. So even if we can't get one, basically what it is, there's a Unova starter giveaway that's going to be in Japan via GetStar TV and KoroKoro, and the starters are going to have their hidden abilities. So December 28th, you're going to get a code for a Contrary Superior with Leaf Storm, Hold Back, Ring Out, and Giga Drain, and you can redeem that code January 9th through November 30th, so pretty much all year next year. And that's a Superior. Next, on January 11th, you're going to get an Emboar with Reckless that you can pick up January 16th to November 30th that has Flare Blitz, Hold Back, Head Smash, and Takedown. And then finally, on January 15th in KoroKoro, also to be redeemed on the 16th through the 30th, is going to be a Samurott with Shell Armor.
Yeah.
With Razor Shell, Hold Back, Confide, and Hydro Pump.
I don't know why out of all three of them, I'm most hyped for the Shell Armor Samurott. I don't know why. Everyone's lost their mind over Contrary Superior being legal now and Reckless Emboar, but I'm like, Shell Armor Samurott.
I've been waiting for this Superior. I really like Superior, but I was just like, it's a bummer that you stink, dude. Like, I would love to like use you, and Contrary Superior seems like it could be the way.
Yeah, too much ice right now. Too much ice beam and ice fist and ice shoot and ice stab.
Yeah, a couple of those are real.
That's what unfortunately still makes Superior not like super viable and competitive, just because there's just too much ice in the metagame. But
it's a bummer.
One day, at least if you really enjoy, if like that's your Pokemon, at least it makes him like usable, possible to use. Yeah, just not fodder.
Yeah. But all of these are like kind of tight. Shell Armor Samurai, come on, that's great.
Shell Armor Samurai, I cannot wait. He gets superpower in 6th Gen 2. So just lower tiers. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. There's also a Pikachu giveaway that's gonna be, because there's a Pokemon Cafe opening in Shibuya. That's going on from the 9th of January to the 28th of February, and that's going to have Play Nice, Charm, Nuzzle, and Sweet Kiss. So
a Nuzzle Pikachu?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Are any of those moves that Pikachu can't typically get?
I'm not sure how many of these he can learn. I don't know if he can learn Nuzzle.
I was going to say, I thought that was Dedene's. I thought Dedenne was the only one that had Nuzzle.
What's his name has it too?
Patchy's got Nuzzle too.
Yeah. Patchy Little Man. I'm not sure. I'm not like boning up on like my like NFE,
just ultimate Pikachu is flying Pikachu, because every time someone sees you fly with Pikachu, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this city, and you fly, and they're like, what?
That's great.
Fly on Pikachu?
I don't know why. I don't know how. I imagine it's like he has like 3 balloons.
They should seriously make a custom animation for it, because they did for he has custom animations, right, for his moves if you in Alpha and Omega when he dresses up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They should have done one for Fly, man. That would be so great if he just like went off in the air in balloons and then dropped, like the balloons popped on the next animation and he fell on you.
Yeah, all those little like yellow version intro animations should be real. That's all I want.
Oh yeah, no, those are awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know, not the most exciting giveaway ever, but it's cute. Pokemon Cafe, like a really, really sweet Pikachu. I don't know.
Good luck finding it in Shibuya, by the way.
Yeah. It's more stores there than anywhere.
It's just towers and towers of stores and like clubs and shops, and it's just like, I'm looking for the Pokemon Cafe on Meiji Dori, and I think it's in the Shibuya building. Good luck.
Later. But yeah, that's that piece of news. Next bit of news is that the ORAS soundtrack is now available on iTunes.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I did
$9.99 for us Americans. It's going to be $7.99 pounds and €8.99 euros. So grab that if you love it. And I say, I'll tell you this. Me and Jimmy were talking about this last week. I'm like almost ready to say that ORAS has the best soundtrack of any of the Pokemon games.
Ooh, Nap. You okay, Nap?
I'm kind of sort of right there with you. There's a lot of good soundtracks. It's just a few older songs that are good too. If they would just include them too, I think everyone lost their mind when they heard Zinnia and Wally's theme. Yeah. I still think if you go to the Battle Maison and you take on one of the Battle Chat lanes in there, they remixed the Emerald Frontier Brain remix, and to me that's the best one on the entire soundtrack.
That's tight. Yeah, I'm ready. I haven't even done that yet. I'm ready for that.
The Victory Road theme, Champions theme, the Legends theme, and Deoxys. Let me stop. Deoxys' theme.
Calm down, Nappy. Hey man, take your breather or whatever that thing is. Your inhaler. Use the inhaler, man.
Yeah, it feels weird because the game just came out to be like, this is the best soundtrack. But like, I mean, realistically, it's like on the best hardware so far, and X and Y was the first try. So like, maybe this is the best one. Who knows? It's just hard. It's just hard to say. But speaking of Hoenn, next bit of news is that the Battle of Hoenn International Competition comes to ORAS finally. It's going to enable you to use any Hoenn Dex Pokemon besides Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Jirachi, and Deoxys. They have to be caught in Gen 6, and registration begins January 15th to 22nd, and the competition is the 23rd to the 25th.
Sweet.
You guys going to do it? Yeah.
I might try that, because I know I saw a few other people were participating, a few other Wi-Fi channels were participating in some of the X and Y competitions, and I was like, this is an official thing, and like you can make a whole series out of this. Like this is pretty cool. So I don't know, I might try that if I can get everything together by the 15th. Then sure.
You could do 10 battles a day too. So it's like whatever one you want to do, just like jam on. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
Could be cool. Who knows? But yeah, that's that. And the next and final bit of news is really exciting for me and probably for Jimmy too, if he's listening. Is that Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire is coming out January 1st.
I'm sorry,
on the
what?
North American Wii U eShop for $7.99.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, man, came out last week in Europe and Japan, and now it's here
On the Wii U.
That's incredible.
Yeah, which is weird. I know it's weird that it's on the Wii U, but I mean, at this point I'm already used to getting like games that I really want to play portably on my Wii U, and that's fine with me. I love like laying around on the couch while everybody's playing something else and just playing a little pinball. I'm in.
No, that game's amazing too. It's like really good.
It's like probably the best like pinball game I've ever played.
I can confidently say I've not played a Pokemon pinball game in 10 plus years.
Yeah, so get hype. This is gonna be the new meta, baby.
I guess this is my signal to get back into it. I should
time.
Try it.
It's time, baby. It's time to jump in. Do this right. I'll tell you what. You won't be disappointed.
I was hyped when Trading Card Game came to 3DS a couple months ago, so I'm gonna definitely have to try this one out. It's on Wii U too. That's gonna be so weird. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, it might feel like an arcade pinball machine. I don't know. We were streaming it the other day, and it's just like Jimmy's really good at the game, and it was just like really nice to watch. I really.
It's really nice to watch somebody that's good at the game. That's why I watch Let's Plays, because I'll go play a game and just die 14 times over.
Yeah, exactly.
If I go watch someone who's really good at it, I feel like I'm accomplishing something while I'm watching them.
Yeah, you're learning knowledge. That's all. That's what matters.
Learning knowledge.
Yeah, you're learning knowledge. All right, but yeah, that's the news. That's the news for this week. Yay, we made it. So the next thing that I want to talk about, since it is the Christmas holiday and all that, is that normally we do our top 5 list here, but today I just kind of wanted to open up the floor to talk about just like fun Pokemon memories from when we were kids, because for me personally, like I had a really like my Pokemon like lifestyle as a kid is heavily connected with Christmas, just because I got red version and a Game Boy Color that Christmas that it came out, and so for me, like I thought it'd be fun to just hear your guys' connection to Pokemon as kids, and just see how alike and how different we all are.
I've been racking my brain trying to think of like a Christmas specific memory with Pokemon.
It doesn't have to be Christmas specific if that's not the thing, but
I can't. I mean, because like you got it for Christmas. I remember getting it for my birthday. I remember because my mom let me open up all my presents, and she still made me go to school that day. So I had to rush and open all my presents. And I remember battling Gary in my rival battle as I was getting dressed for school with my turquoise Game Boy, that blue one that they had.
Yeah, I know it well.
I remember getting dressed and doing all that stuff. But I guess the closest thing I could remember, Delibird is one of my favorite Pokemon. So me and Shady get along so well. And I remember when I was a kid and I saw Delibird, I lost my mind. First time I played Gold and Silver. And I was like, this is the best Pokemon ever. Ever. Period. Hands down. And when you're a kid, you just play Pokemon just to play Pokemon. You don't care about their stats. You don't care about any of that stuff. And I saw Delibird. I didn't care from there on out. I used Delibird and I had like a level 75 Delibird on my party going into Elite Four.
Hell yeah.
Delibird. The Delibird.
Just throwing presents.
Just throwing presents left and right. I loved Delibird so much.
And
now it's unfortunate as I grow up and learn that he's not quite the best Pokemon out there, but I mean, he can get flightless birds that can fly.
There you go. That's him. That's him overcoming his own destiny right there. That's beautiful. Yeah.
I also don't have like I think any Christmas memories, unfortunately, with Pokemon. Considering my age when Pokemon came, I mean, I was obviously only like a little kid like you guys. I'm not 30, so. Yeah, I was like 15 when Pokemon really hit in America, and so if I had any like early memory, it's kind of that's an early memory, right? I'm 15 and like Pokemon's just like taking off. So I think one of my fondest memories of Pokemon, and this is kind of weird, is me being a little shady 15-year-old. No money, of course, right? I'm 15. I don't have a job. My parents hate me because I'm 15 and I was probably a huge brat. So I was riding bikes and stuff like that, and all my friends went to the Pokemon movie, but I didn't have any money to go, so I snuck into the theater, and I went and watched the movie, and then like when I walked out, one of the guys was kind of like, because we lived in a really small town, so when I walked out, the guy was like, what the hell? Like, you weren't in here when the movie started or whatever. So because like everyone kind of knew who was in the theater. It's hard to explain. I grew up in a really, really small town. So they knew everyone that went in and everyone that walked out. But yeah, so that's one of my Pokemon memories. And like the very first time I ever like experienced Pokemon was actually through like a friend. I was just at my friend's house. He was an exchange student from like Brazil, and it was a friend of a friend, right? So my friend was like, hey, let's go over to so-and-so's house. He just moved here from Brazil, and he's like a cool dude or whatever. So we go there, and he was playing Pokemon. I think he was playing Yellow, if I recall correctly. And it was just so awesome seeing like the animations of like Pikachu and stuff, like following the trainer. And like, I don't know. I didn't think Pokemon could get really any better than that. Still not sure if it has, because my Pokemon still don't follow me.
Yeah, I know. That's rough.
Game freak.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was a kid, like I said, I got it on Christmas. I remember like a couple things that were very interesting, which were like I totally remember like because I knew what I knew what it was, because I lived in a neighborhood that had a lot of Japanese kids in it who like were like very much like Japanese culture-wise. Like their parents spoke to them in Japanese. They all spoke Japanese. They all read the manga in Japanese and stuff like that. And so they were getting the game a little early, and I was like really hyped about it, and I was like really like excited to play it, but I never like played it with my own two hands because like, I just didn't speak Japanese. And so on Christmas when I got it, I was like getting upset because, the first couple battles that you do, like you can't, throw a Pokeball. And I just didn't even understand like I didn't even understand like the mechanics of how that was going to happen later, because I was young, man. I was like 10 or 11, and like it was just like this situation of like, what, Mom, like what the hell, like why can't I catch this? I want to just catch it. Is there a catch button? There's only 2 buttons on the Game Boy. It was also my first experience with a Game Boy, because my parents bought me like a Genesis years before, and I had only played that and my N64 until I got this Game Boy, and I was just like, what, why? And I remember I tried to have Christmas dinner in the living room because nobody would let me play Pokemon at the table.
Oh, brutal, dude.
Yeah. So I was like, can I just take my turkey in the other room? Like, I was just like being like a little wiener. I remember it clearly.
No way, man. Your parents should have just been so stoked that you found joy in something.
Yeah.
That's like literally been my entire life. Is like my parents being like, you think that's fun? You can't do it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I know. I know that feeling. But joke's on them. Because now, look how famous and rich we are, right, guys?
I know, right?
Yes.
All that.
I don't know.
All that.
We got that nappy money.
Yeah. All that.
Whoa, what now? Hold on.
All that nappy money. We're all living large, eating caviar, training up our skitties.
That's right.
I just play Pokemon. That's all. I stumbled upon a Ghastly one day, and it's been history ever since.
I do share a house with 2 roommates and have a computer.
Yeah, that's me, man. That's the life.
And I'm 30.
I recently bought an acceptable TV.
Oh crap! Did I just figure out it's time for me to get a real job?
I don't know.
Well,
let's not let this be the message that we take from this.
Pokemon is great, you guys. Okay, yeah. Pokemon is great.
Pokemon's fantastic. Pokemon is the real deal, you guys. Look at us. It's possible. Three grown ass men just still nerding out about Pokemon over the internet together. It's real. That song.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's interesting what Pokemon really is, and you know, obviously Christmas is a time of like bonding and stuff like that. But Pokemon is, I think, the game above all games that makes you bond with other players. Like, there's plenty of games where it's like, oh, Monster Hunter, we need to play together online, or you know, Mario Kart, we race with each other. But Pokemon's like the ultimate like friendship bonding game, where it's like, oh, I'll trade you this guy. Oh, I need help with breeding this Pokemon or whatever. It's like it makes people masses come together.
I was about to say, I think Call of Duty has that covered, but then you mentioned the word friendship, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, learning somebody likes Pokemon is like finding out that they speak like a secret language, because there's so much, like pretty much everybody knows, at least in my age, everybody knows the original 150.
Yeah.
And you know, like just finding out somebody knows that, or like being surprised that they're like, oh, you know, like the Sinnoh Pokemon? Like, are you serious? Like, that's exciting. And, you know, being able to have like a conversation with someone like at a bar or in like some adult place, and like being like, you know, whatever, like IVs, EVs, yada, yada, yada. Do you like super training? Like, that's really, that makes me happy. Makes me feel like I'm not wasting my time, you know?
I think anytime I have a conversation with my mom about Pokemon, all she knows is Pikachu. But I think she's finally starting to learn Gengar, because she knows it's my mascot. So she's starting to recognize it. So I'm like...
Yeah, this is the good life.
You best recognize, Mom. Is that what you told her? Yeah. You best recognize Gengar's the best, Mom.
She knows.
What you know about Mega Gengar, Mom?
I don't think she knows anything about that, though.
Yeah. Great.
Honestly, though, just to touch on Gengar, Shiny Mega Gengar, best, I think, ultimate shiny.
Super cool.
Nothing's sicker than changing colors when you go Mega.
And it's such a color change too.
I love it. I mean, he's the best. He's the best. That's all.
They were like, yeah. They were like, don't forget he's a ghost, y'all. Like they made him like all white. It was really cool. It's really cool. I don't know. I really like Gengar. But that's that. I just wanted us to all share like a little nice memory. I think we achieved it. So, you know, happy Christmas or happy holidays of any kind that you may or may not celebrate. And let's quickly, before we go, let's move quickly into our Fanswers segment. Hey. Great. So, as usual, during this point in the podcast, we ask a question of you guys, our listeners, and we answer it, and then you guys send in your answers, and then we read them on the next episode. But today, our question is just going to be, what's your favorite, you know, Pokemon Christmas or holiday memory? And you can send those to thedexcast@gmail.com. That's THEDEXCAST@gmail.com. And we'll read them on the next podcast. So that's going to be really nice. But for now, let's see what you guys wrote back to us this week. So here we go. This first one is from Sayin, is the person's name.
Whoa.
Hey, Dex. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Dexcast, plus Pop's possible guest, maybe? This is my first time writing in, even though I've been a long-time listener. I think that's spelled right. I listen to the podcast on my way to school, and I'm always eagerly, think that's spelled right too, I am not a good speller, waiting for the next podcast to come out. Now for some bad news. The headphone port on my 2DS, yes, I have a 2DS, recently broke, and since I live with my dad, who hates hearing my games, I can't play my 2DS while my dad is at home, which is often. More bad news. I love what Game Freak did with the Eon ticket distribution, but since I don't ever go anywhere with my 2DS, as it is always at home, I'm afraid that I might never get my Eon ticket. Just wanted to write in. Sorry for the long email, maybe, and later, man. Not a long email, first of all. Thank you for writing in. But that's a sad tale.
I have some good news for
Truly.
him.
Yeah.
If he can find a way, I know traditionally it's supposed to be done by Street Pass, but you can actually do it through mystery gift, and you just get the code. Like if someone can send him a code, then he can just enter it into mystery gift, and they'll give him the Eon ticket. That's what I did for my Alpha Sapphire Let's Play to go get Latios.
Cool. Yeah, so let's put out a call to our listeners and see if we can't help Sayin here get his little Eon ticket. But as far as the dad woes and whatnot, remember this: someday you will be an adult who lives on his own, and on that day you can plug your 2DS into the speaker system in your entire house, and you can listen to Pokemon and play it and do whatever you want.
Yo, we were talking about the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire soundtrack. Imagine how good the soundtrack's gonna be then, when you can plug it into surround sound.
Yeah, and it's gonna be maybe a few years from now, so technology will be even better. Who even knows? Who knows?
Yeah, and you could light stuff on fire too.
Yeah, yeah. As long as you stay within the bounds of the law. Well, I guess you don't have to stay within the bounds of the law, but then you'll face the consequences. So
yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah. So that said, Merry Christmas. This next one comes from Luke, who says, "Hello, Alex, Kellz, Jimmy, and future guests." In parentheses, he put Nate, Jaywitz, Dookie Shed, and I don't know, Pro Jared. Bad news, buddy. But in response to your question about what move or ability that I would want, but isn't real yet, have I got the simplest answer? Because last week we asked about moves and abilities that don't exist. Many electric types are overlooked each year for any form of competence in battle. What if there was a minor adjustment that could be made that could change all that? What if there was a increased priority electric type attack? I'm a staunch believer in simplicity in design and use, and much to my chagrin, one such attack doesn't exist. Many electric types already have high speed, and a lot of them can learn quick attack, but given that electricity travels through a path of least resistance as fast as possible, why can't an attack behave the same way? I've been a big fan of your channel and since the Zangoose episode, and this podcast gets me to work one day out of the week. Hashtag thanks, Dexcast. Anyway, no apologies for the length of my mail. I have no shame. Hashtag later man, Luke.
Wait, can you hashtag in mail inside Gmails?
Everybody always hashtags us because we speak in hashtags.
No, that's awesome.
There's a Twitter account that just posts the hashtags that we say on the podcast.
I mean, I think that's one thing that everyone's thought of for the longest time is why doesn't every single type have its own priority move? You know what I mean? Like why don't they have a fire type priority? And I agree with them with the electric one. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting there to be something like Pixelate or Aerialate for electric because they're kind of I feel like one of the types where the type itself is weaker than Thunderbolt, which is pretty much, and Thunderwave. I feel like Thunderwave and then there's Thunderbolt, and that's pretty much the only two real electric attacks that are really, really in use all the time. I
want to see more people run electric terrain.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
What I really want to do. I was surprised. I was doing my X Wonderlock and I took on Clement and I had a Venusaur, right? Because grass resists electric, and his Magneton used Thunderbolt and did 40% to me. And I'm like, what? What is happening? It turns out he had electric terrain up. So I'm just I would love to see more people run electric terrain and just other stuff like that. Just 6th Gen brought a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that got overlooked.
When I was trying out VGC, for the first time. I had this whole plan around like the fairy terrain. And it ended up not working out, obviously. I don't know, but it's really cool. Like, nobody can get status to win its fairy terrain. Think about that. That's tight. That's a tight thing. But yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Luke. We all hear you. We hear you,
Everyone
Luke.
hears you.
Hashtag we hear you, Luke.
Yeah.
Hashtag the whole podcast.
Yeah. Okay, here's let's see, what do we got? Let's see. New email. Okay, this one is from Justin C. Hey, Alex, Kellz, Jimmy, and possible but unlikely guest. This is my first time writing in, and I wanted to address one of the questions from episode 40, which was, I believe, 2 episodes ago. If I were to make a movie without Ash, I think a great idea would be to adapt the GameCube games. I think with a bit of reworking, they could be very cool and darker than the movies we've seen so far. Also, I would love to see Origin miniseries for the other generations, as well as your Champions series idea. Speaking of champions, going back to episode 39, I'm thankful for ORAS, not for the usual reasons, but for finally giving me a chance to fight Steven. I played Emerald as a kid and got Sapphire afterwards, but never beat the game, so fighting Steven as champion after all these years was really cool for me. Finally, I have a question for you guys. What's the most unique story you have for naming one of your Pokemon? Mine would have to be my incredible contest swallow, Bird Purple. The day I got Alpha Sapphire, I was sitting and letting my 4-year-old brother watch me play. When I caught a Tailo, I decided it'd be cool to let him name it. He decided Bird Purple because he's a bird and he's purple, and although I hadn't planned on it, I used him the whole game and he is one of my 2 top Pokemon. I hope this wasn't too long. It wasn't. And keep up the good work, you guys. Sincerely, Justin C.
Nice. Yeah, dude, naming Pokemon is like awesome, and I think a lot of people really are like that really ties you to the Pokemon at some point, you know, when you like look back and go like, man, oh, that's, you know, Jimmy the whatever or something, and you're just like, yeah. But my favorite name that has to be a pun that I did of a shiny Pachirisu I caught, which is Sajin Park. I don't know if you guys know who that is, listeners out there. Sajin Park is the World Championships winner for VGC competitive play. He's the Masters champion of the world. So check that guy out.
That was the hypest thing I've ever seen that had to do with Pokemon. It was so hype.
Yeah. No, it was incredible. So you guys should know that name and prepare for it this year. Just out to you listeners there that might be getting into the VGC format. Prepare to hear his name again this year because he has an invite back to the World Championships, so he will definitely be in it in August if that's when they decide to do it again, which is usually when they do. I think they already decided on that. So I should probably know that because I may or may not be commentating it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I named my shiny Pachirisu Sajin. Wait for it. Spark. Yes, I added an S onto his last name, and I made it Spark because it's like, okay, you guys get it. But anyway, yeah. So that's my favorite name. Nappy, you got a name that you tied to one of your Pokemon?
I mean, I have one that came to mind immediately, but I feel like I have others that are like so much better because this one is just kind of like it was the first thing that popped into my head when I named it. But I mean, I guess I'll go with it. A few months back, I was doing a Pokemon Platinum randomized Nuzlocke, and like on the second route, I caught this Makuhita. And like I don't know. I guess it's nice to always try to come up with like some sort of an original nickname. Like I don't know, when I have nicknames, I like them to be somehow original and unique to me. I caught this Makuhita. And if anybody watches Call of Duty here, I know it's the second Call of Duty reference in a Pokemon podcast, but you'll understand this. You'll understand this. But I caught this Makuhita, and its Pokédex description says that it's like so strong and whatnot that it knocks over trees in the forest. So, long story short, when I started YouTube, I was uploading Call of Duty content, and there was this Call of Duty content creator in the community. His name was El Prezador. And he did this series of videos where he went out into the woods because he lives in Ohio. And like when he would get mad at campers in Call of Duty, he would like pretend they're trees in the forest and he'd go find a dead tree and tackle it and knock it onto the ground. Like that's what he did. Like he has these videos on YouTube of him tackling trees on the ground. And like Discovery Channel went and interviewed him and a whole bunch of other stuff. And that was the only thing that popped into my head when I read Makuu's Pokédex description. So I nicknamed him Presidor.
That's perfect.
And ever since then, people love it. They're Presidor the Makui, the Presidor the Hirayama. It's just so, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I have one that's a little more unique. Like if I actually sat and thought about it, but that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I heard the question being read. So we'll just go with that one.
That's great.
I love that.
I was doing a just kind of like for my own S's and G's. I was doing a Nuzlocke of Heart Gold for some of this year, and I didn't finish it, but I should finish it. But I'm like pretty far in the game. I have like 6 or 7 badges, and I just you have to name every Pokemon. And my method for naming is always just like name it as quickly as possible. Like, don't think about it too much. Just name it like the first thing that you have that like fits. And so I caught a Pidgey early in the game, and I named it Blood. And Blood the Pidgey was like the hero of the day. Saved my life, like big time. Like this Pidgey like carried me through almost every gym battle. It just had like fly. I just like over leveled it. I used sand attack on it for the longest, and it was just Blood. It was my Pidgey Blood, and I was like into Blood. I think I might have even like drawn a pic of him just because I was so like psyched about Blood the Pidgey. So I don't have like it's not like a super, because I'm really not one who names his Pokemon very often, but I named my Pidgey Blood. But yeah, thanks for the email. Thanks for the email, Justin C. Let's do like maybe one more, huh? Just for funsies. Just for funsies. Funsies. Let's see. Want one that let me see. This one's called Jesus Take the Wheel. It's from Vivian. So let's see what the deal is. Help me, Dexcast. I am playing all the regions in order because I'm trying to complete the Pokedex. I finished the Leaf Green Pokedex and I'm almost finished with Heart Gold. Fortunately, ORAS came out right in time for me to complete Hoenn. However, I'm trying to name all my guys various versions of Luna, and I've gone through Luna, Lunette, Lunetta, and Loon. I don't think I have 2 more in me. Should I start making up names or switch to Stella? P.S. I need to put 999 Pokemon into Pokemon Ranch to get a Mew. I'm not exaggerating when I say 999. You literally need the maximum number of Pokemon to get a Mew. It's going to be the worst. Jesus H. Christ. So what do we think? Is this...
She's talking about like the name of her in-game character?
Yeah, I think so. So she needs 2 more. And I'm trying to think of like some kind of clever, I don't know
why, but Lunabelle just comes to mind.
Lunabelle? There you go. Straight from Nappy himself.
I don't know why. That's just the first thing that pops in my head when I heard it.
Yeah.
So that's why.
What if you pick a male trainer and you name him Leonardo?
There you go. I think that's it. I think problem solved.
Yeah, and
we
also
did it, team.
Yeah, we did it. Name team. Morph into name machine.
Morph into name.
But yeah, as far as the 999 Pokemon into Pokemon Ranch thing, I feel that pain. I did it by just going to Route 1 and just using Ultra Balls. That's how I got my Mew from Pokemon Ranch on the Wii. That was stupid. That was like the worst thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I can't believe that's real.
Like fun.
That's like not even like, like it's on me if I'm like gonna go shiny hunting. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna like reset Groudon for shiny or something like that back in like real Gen 3, like that's on me for being like crazy, right? But this is like what they say you have to do. And that is crazy to me. That's just nutty. Yeah. I hear you. I did it. Don't worry. You can do it. Don't worry. But yeah, I think that's it for this fun little holiday special. I just want to thank you guys for joining me, Nappy and Justin.
Thank you for extending the invite.
Yeah, man. Is there anything you guys want to plug before we go?
I do Pokemon Let's Plays on YouTube. Woo!
Where can they find you?
YouTube.com/TheKingNappy.
Yeah, check out his FFAs. They're really fun. I gotta hit you back about that, as a matter of fact.
I'm trying to get the decks on the free-for-alls.
Yeah, those are fun. What about you, Justin?
Hi. My name is Justin, and I'm known as Justin, the Justin Flynn on the internet. You can find me on YouTube as well, and I play Pokemon. But yeah, I guess I'm very sick, so I apologize. I swear I sound hopefully much better in my videos. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just sound really nasally all the time.
I can tell that you're sick.
Okay, good. Well, anyway, to intro just some people that may or may not know who I am or haven't seen me on the previous podcast. Hi, and thanks for watching, guys. It was a pleasure being here, Alex, and also getting to hang out with Nappy. I don't get to see enough of you guys. To the viewers, I am Justin Flynn. That's my name on the internet as well. I go by the Justin Flynn. I am an avid Pokemon PokeTuber as well as a Twitch streamer. Play a lot of Pokemon there. Particularly focus on VGC, which is the competitive format from the Pokemon company themselves, and I do a lot of shiny hunting. So if you're into that stuff, you can check me out on youtube.com/thejustinflynn. And also, I am the Pokemon World Championships commentator. So if you watch the Pokemon National or World Championships for the U.S. this year, well, the World Championships is the world, but the Nationals would be for the U.S. If you watch that, then you might see me on there. I'm the guy with long hair that everyone yells at for having long hair. That's me.
Yeah. You're the, what was it? The something is real? What was it?
Yes. I apparently on Reddit, I got picked up for being the blank is so real guy. So I would probably saying, like, I guess, I don't know, when you're in the moment, who knows what you're thinking. But I think at the World Championships, I was like, oh, the waterfall is so real. Or
So good.
So some of those moves. So I'm the blank is so real guy from Reddit or just in the world of Pokemon. That's me. I have long hair. Well, I used to have long hair, but I still have kind of long hair. But yeah. So if you see me around, that's me.
Great. So thanks for joining us, guys. Happy holidays to all of you listening. Thanks for listening. We'll be back probably next week with another one, unless I do another something like this on Friday and decide to throw up another podcast. But as always, if you like what we do here and you want to support us, head over to patreon.com/thatonevideogamer. There's something for everybody. It's sort of like Kickstarter, but it's kind of like, it happens every week. And there's all sorts of great, prizes and things. What do you call them? Benefits?
Yeah, there's like perks and stuff for your contributions. It's really awesome. I love Patreon. I didn't even know you guys were rocking one. That's so cool.
Yeah, for $1 a week, you get access to our exclusive stream, and it's also the completionist Patreon, so you get like double the rewards. And right now, we're also doing a promotion with LootCrate.com. If you head over to LootCrate.com/TheNationalDex and use the coupon code TheNationalDex, that'll get you 10% off whatever your order is, which is pretty cool, and it helps us out too. Yeah, man, it's awesome. So check that out. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Nappy.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Wait.